So, before I owned the Honda, I actually had a 2015 Vauxhall Corsa, which I'll admit isn't the best car in the world, it's far from it, and it's certainly not the most high-tech. However, when compared to the Honda, it is a lot more modern, and that got me thinking, what bits of modern technology do I miss on a car? What things do I miss having? What things do I think I could maybe fit to the Honda to bring it up to date a bit and just have a few of those nice modern features that I sort of grew used to? So I've done a bit of thinking and I've worked out a few things that I do miss having. So number one, heated seats. I know it's a very sunny day today, and on a day like today, a heated seat would be, well, pointless. But when I was getting into this car in the cold winter months, I really missed heated seats. Yes, the heater is nice, but when I want to warm up, I don't always want really warm air blowing in my face through the vents. I'd much rather have that on a little bit and just put the heated seat on, because it was just so nice and relaxing. And I'm sure most of us can agree, in the warm weather, no, in the cold weather, a heated seat when you're driving is one of the greatest inventions known to man. If you've ever experienced or owned a car with heated seats, I'm pretty sure you'll agree. Maybe if we look around, we can find some kind of aftermarket heat pads that we can fit to Cici. Maybe front and back, that'd be kind of cool. But yes, heated seats, I think they're definitely a must these days, particularly when they come as standard. Even on cars as old as this, they come on the standard version of this generation Civic, and not the Type R version, which is actually quite annoying. So I reckon that's something we can definitely look at fitting. Number two, trip computers, or more specifically, onboard computers. I know I touched on this in a previous video, saying that it was kind of annoying I didn't have a trip computer. So I thought, you know what, let's go into a bit more depth. It was so nice when I had the Corsa to have a little gauge that not only told me how many miles I'd done since I'd filled up with petrol, but also how many miles I've got left, my average MPG, how much oil I've got left in the engine, so I know when to top it up, even the tyre pressures. It's just all handy information to know. All this has got is a computer telling you how many miles the car's done, how much you've done on a tank, and the temperature outside, which, well, is kind of irrelevant because you can see it's a lovely day. So having that extra bit of information would just be, you know, a bit of an ease of life, particularly when it comes to managing fuel stops. Number three, infotainment systems. This is where it gets a bit tricky, because the infotainment system I had on the Corsa, though it was a nice thing to have, it was entirely touchscreen, which meant every time I wanted to do something on it, you have to look away from the road and down at the screen to see where you point your finger for the option you want. And though it's clever and high tech, it is, well, it's distracting. It's very distracting from driving. And I think all infotainment systems should be something like BMW's iDrive system, where you have like a little physical wheel that you turn in order to select different options, and a couple of little buttons around that wheel, and that means you only have to glance at the screen for a split second for the option you want, meaning you can concentrate on the road more. I really do think that is how infotainment systems should be done. And sort of not having one and making do with an old-fashioned, I say old-fashioned, an old aftermarket stereo that doesn't even have digital radio. It's very annoying because it is a step backwards. I think as far as aftermarket infotainment systems go, the best you can realistically do is get a double DIN system, which I am planning on fitting at some point down the line. I've just got to find the right one. And the fourth thing I really miss having is sound deadening, or something along those lines. I think that's something that only really exists on more modern cars, or if it's an older car, really high-end luxury cars like S-Class Mercs. Thing is, I don't really know exactly how sound deadening works. I mean, on the Corsa, it was quiet at high speeds, and I think that's just because the framework of cars in general has improved a lot. It's gotten to be a much higher quality, it's much more high-tech, but maybe it's also down to do with the thickness of the material made on a lot of cars, certainly more everyday cars. It does help to cancel out a lot of the noise at higher speeds. I mean, I know this car has a big exhaust, which is quite noisy, but I think part of the noise is it's made of thin metal, so it doesn't cancel out as much of the noise as, say, a modern car would. And also there's probably a lot of tyre noise and wind noise. I mean, it has wind deflectors, but I honestly don't think they do a whole lot. So if there's a way of somehow incorporating sound deadening, that would be a nice touch. I mean, I will just show you a quick clip of what this car is like on a motorway at 70 miles an hour with no windows open, no heater on, no aircon on, no stereo on, just so you can hear a bit more of what I mean. Yeah, it's quite annoying. One of the many reasons I tend to turn my music up quite loud. But there you go. They are just a few modern features that I miss about owning a modern car. Let me know if there's any cool modern features I forgot, if there's any modern features you like having. Let me know if there's any modern features that would make sort of day-to-day life a bit easier that we could possibly fit to the Honda. Again, let me know. But until then, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next video as always.